July 2019 Banter. July 2019 Banter. I've been, just had an idea. Watching watching TV just then. Today's Bastille Day. Today I got off with Rob for a trek around Tuggeranong. There's a video on it. On Noahide Videos Bible. And, see Rob's face in there, Rob Preston's face, and says hello. And but anyway, I was watching the news just then with Mum, and there was some watching a news story on how there's just been a earthquake off the coast of Broome in Western Australia, and that struck a note of thinking, struck a chord, and I started thinking about an idea, and I shared it with Mum, the idea, and basically the idea was that with the breaking up of Noah's flood, of the earth and Noah's flood, how the earth is broken up and everything, and water spouts out. The foundations of the Great Deep are broken up and water spouts out. We have, I suppose, the crust of the world, for one to a better place, or the mantle, whatever it is. It's broken up, and what I think is the result of that is that there's plates around the world. The tectonic plates, continental plates, where the edges of where the places were broken. That's the water spouted up from them. That's what I think probably happened. And we have earthquakes as a result of continental shift, volcanic activity. Now, what caused that was actually human activity being too sinful, and God deciding to act. Now, I'll go out on a limb. The world population is currently 7.5 billion and still currently increasing. And all the time God is receiving prayers from the world, from the faithful, and sanctifying the world, and sanctifying the people. And over 6,000 years that there's been a lot of prayers uttered to God for the world. So he's done a lot of sanctifying the world, a lot of saving the world. He's done it for a long time. But new sinners come along, and the world needs more sanctification, the population grows, and still need to save the world. So in a sense, the agitation or the aggro of God, the upsettingness of God, I suppose he gets upset. He's remorseful in his heart about what mankind is doing. Regretted that he created man in his words in Genesis. So it continues to go on, and he's still probably quite upset because we're still quite sinful at times, aren't we? I know some of us in the Noahide community believe God's ready to plonk. Not sure if he's really quite to that stage, because I think we're mostly a civilized humanity well enough. Even though we've got loopy bits in our law, we're civilized enough. But I think with growth in humanity, loopy bits are going to come in, and it's going to be a long time before we deal with them again, potentially. I might be talking about gay marriage. But as the world grows, we get a lot of loose people coming into this world as the population grows, and it takes a little while to sort out loose bloodlines. It takes a while to sort out all the bloodlines. But gradually what happens when the world, if it reaches that stage, reaches its final peak of population, let's say 1 trillion people, if we've got mega cities we might get to 1 trillion people or something like that. Wherever it is, once it finally reaches that population, and if it does, there might not need any more prayer for so excessive to sanctify the world, because as God receives the prayers from that generation, the world starts sanctifying with that amount of population. So the idea would be then, I'm going out on a limb on this, but as the world finally peaks with its population and the bloodlines finally fulfill the amount of bloodlines we've got, God can sanctify the bloodlines without having to worry about new ones all the time. If you see what I'm saying. So much so that eventually he can get the buck and brumby under control, settle it down and tame it, and eventually tame the sin in man. Once his kicking of his youth is finished, he's made his people the amount of people that he wants for the world, he can start calming it down, and the strong kick of sex impulses calming down and settling down. Population reached, calming down, unless we go off into space or the world expands or something, in which case it can go on permanently. But the idea I'm aiming at is that if we peak and settle, then God can eventually get on with his job of sanctifying man, calming man down, and restoring the peace. And the thing is, if God's aggro is still seen in the turmoil of the great deep, if mankind finally calms down and gets over its wicked ways, population's peaked and there's not any more new sinners, not any more rowdy bloodlines, and it settles down, and God starts curbing the tempestuousness of mankind's youth, mankind could eventually perhaps settle down and gradually learn godly ways and more effectively. It's had peaks of it in history, but eventually settles down and gets over it. And theoretically, I guess, if that starts settling down, if mankind eventually starts settling down, the foundations of a great deep could, when the continental shift is finally over its aggro, start settling down. And if you've seen what I've been aiming for all along, instead of being so calming down and getting down to the original product, returning to Eden. It's just an idea. July 2019. Banter.